back to our online biology classes again. Here already in our previous lesson we have started with the cell, their discovery, their existence and their various forms and functions. Now again in our today's lesson we are going to start with the second part of our chapter, the cell, unit of life. Now before starting this video you need to watch the previous one, because if you will not get to knowledge about that you will have difficulty to understand it. So first go through that and then come to this video. Okay, now previously we have learned about the animal cell, okay, their structure, function, different cell organelles, etc. Now today as you can see on the board we have a structure of plant cell. Actually these are somehow rectangular in shape, but here you can see the 3D structure, so don't worry, it's not such a heavy thing. It is simply rectangular in shape, and if other than the animal cell, it has some differences in it that I have already told you. We will learn about the difference in plant cell than that of the animal cell, which is the outer. Actually, the plant cell is rigid, tough, thick, and easily permeable to different substances in comparison to the animal cell, which is very thin, flexible and semi-permeable, and this is also non-living. Say if you have seen the covering of coconut, that is dead cell wall. Okay, cell wall is already non-living substance, something non-living substance which is very tough and rigid, and it is made up of a big substance called cellulose. Okay, now the outer covering as you can see is called cell wall, which is not found in animal cell. Okay, after that cell wall you can see this yellow color cell wall is prior to the cell membrane, okay, which gives a tough shape to the plant. Actually its function is that to protect the functions. Plants are not as delicate as we. If we will get if some knife will fall on our feet, definitely will get a cut, but if you throw a knife or a sharp thing on a plant, that will not get any cut on it. But because some differences are there, though we all are living, but there are differences in the shape or structure of plants and animals. That is why there is difference there. And next to cell wall, there is again the same cell membrane is present, which has just the same function that of the cell membrane present in animals. Okay. After that, cell membrane allows selectively permeable or semi-permeable, you can say, which things will be entering into the substance. This passes down to this cell membrane. Okay. Next to it, the other cell organelles like mitochondria, cytoplasm, Golgi body, nucleus, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and other cellular organelles we have already learned in animal cell that also has the same functioning over here: protein synthesis, enzyme synthesis and secretion, hormone secretion. All that have the similar functions. Also, nucleus also have the same function that of the animal cell's nucleus. Now the difference is the two cell basis mainly on the two cell organelles. That is, as you can see, the hollow space inside the cell. This is called vacuole. Vacuoles are clearly the empty space or the clear spaces filled with water and other substances in solution inside the cytoplasm. And other thing is plastic. Vacuole is present in animal cell also, but not that appropriately and very small in size. But here there is a defined and appropriately visible vacuole there which stores starch and other substances, water in the cell, and that gives shape, that helps to maintain the shape of the cell, that gives turgidity. Against the turgidity means it is something like it has water and it is swollen up. Okay, so by swelling up it provides, it will not be collapsed, or it gives turgidity against the cell wall. Okay, so it maintains the shape of the cell. Now next is the other differentiate is plastid and what is their role and the role of vacuole, we will learn in this plant. Plastids are double membrane proteinaceous matrix, gives color to flower, fruit and leaves, stores energy. Okay, now what does it mean? Plastids are simply, if I say, are of special cell organelles present only in plants. These are of different shapes, maybe oval, spherical, disc-like structure or any form, or mainly based on the color it imparts to the plant or parts of the plant. Plastids are of three types, that is leucoplast, chloroplast and chromoplast. These plastids have different color imparting roles, different types of color they impart to the parts of the plant. As we see, flower is of different color, leaves is of different color, fruits are of different color in an individual tree or a plant. Who has the role in that? These plastids. Again, I tell you the plastids are of three types based on the color they impart. That is leucoplast, chromoplast, and chloroplast. Leucoplast are the colorless plastids that stores starch. Starch means those food, you can say food for plants. Okay. Now these plastids are in great number, will be visible in, are found in potatoes. Potatoes are starchy vegetable, as we know. So these leucoplasts are present in potatoes in large number, and there are other plants part also. Now apart from that, chromoplast, plastids, plastids I have told you has the role in imparting the color to the parts of plant. These are of three types, that is chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast. Okay, so these chromoplast, leucoplast and chloroplast has different roles. Like chloroplast gives green color pigment called chlorophyll. Chloroplast contains green color pigment called chlorophyll, which is helpful in photosynthesis, that is production of food by the plant. See, the process of producing food by the plant. These cells are especially present in the those parts of the plant which is exposed to sunlight, that is mainly leaves. Okay, leucoplast, I've already told you these are the colorless plastids that helps to store starch for the food. And chromoplast, these contain the different colors. These are of different colors of plastic like red, yellow, orange. Yes, these types of colors of plastic they give different colors to the petals and the fruits. I hope you all have understood that one, and helps to store energy in the form of glucoplast. Now vacuoles. Vacuoles are the spaces filled with water or other substances that give turbidity. The same thing that I have already told you. If say there is a balloon, okay, balloon has some small structure now without having air inside it. Once we fill it with air, what does it happen? It becomes it gives shape, no, it takes a shape. Similar way, the clear space available inside the cell is filled with water and it's swollen up and helps to maintain the shape of the cell. Okay, now next portion. Apart from this, we will move to the next part of our chapter. Different kinds of cell. We are already done with the plant cell, animal cell. Okay, their cell organelles, their function. These are the important topics of this chapter. Very, very important topics. As we get questions from these topics mainly, like if the question comes like the starch is present in which type of plastic? So you will be able to answer leucoplast, chromoplast or chloroplast. Easily you will be able to answer characteristics and two characteristics and functions at least are very much important to study in this chapter of each cell organism. Previously also I have told you, if the question comes like ribosome is synthesized by which cell organelle? Mitochondria, cell membrane, cell wall, or Golgi body, or ribosome. Okay, so you will be able to answer which cell organelle synthesizes protein. That is why you have to study all these functions of all these cell organelles in depth. Okay, very important topics of this chapter. Different kinds of cells are, these are different kinds of animal cells. Okay, red blood cells, these are blood cells which has a, if you can see this curvy structure at the bottom, at the middle of the cell, these are called, these are like curved at the bottom inside, like on the both sides. If there is a circular display structure and that is curved in at the center on both sides, that is why its shape is called biconcave shape. This type of shape we call it as concave shape. So this red blood cell has biconcave structure. This is specially designed because, not designed that we have not designed, but it is naturally made so because it has to pass through small and thin capillaries to supply oxygen throughout the body. That's why its feature is like that. The columnar epithelial cells, these are the cells present inside the visceral organs like small intestine, esophagus, stomach, and all to facilitate. Here you can see the minute finger-like projections. Those are the cilia or their supporting cells, columnar epithelial cells. These are present inside those visceral organs to facilitate digestion or movement of food. Now, smooth muscle cells, these are the cells that which comprises the smooth muscle organs, the visceral organs. Visceral organs are made up of these smooth muscle cells. Now, bone cells are like this. This ovum cell, bones are made up of this type of cell. Ovum cell and sperm cell, these are the female and male reproductive cells, and these are this is the nerve cell, the longest nerve cell that imparts information from different parts of the body to the brain in the form of impulses. Impulses means information it is, but in the form of like some messenger message, like in the form of information is transferred to the brain in the form of, we call it as impulse. Okay. Now, apart from these topics, all the topics are covered. Apart from this topic, only two small concepts are left that I will give you in short. The two main, or we can say that important topics left from this chapter is about cell theory, and next is surface volume ratio of the cell. Surface volume ratio. What is it? These two topics are only left in this chapter to be covered. Otherwise, we have already covered. We have to go through the discovery of microscope, who has discovered structure and their cells, their different parts, their roles, and especially differences between plant cell, animal cell. The basis of the question that comes from that are covered from this chapter. Okay, and apart from that, there is a small discussion we'll do on these topics. So let us first start on cell theory. Cell theory is something. Cell came into existence. We know its discovery, but who has discovered, who has actually given the idea, that is all about, who has introduced the cell to the world, that is all about cell theory. Okay, there is hardly something to remember, that is in in 1838, a German botanist discovered that all plant cells are made up of plants are made up of large number of cells, and these cells perform various life processes. Just after his discovery, just after 1 year of his discovery, another German zoologist discovered that all the animals in the after a year, only after a year, a German again. Just after 1 year, again a German zoologist discovered that all the plants and animals are made up of cells, and these perform the various necessary functions of the living organisms. That means, in short, when we combine this theory is named as Schwann and Steeden theory. And Steeden Schwann and Steeden theory. This theory that states the structural unit of a living organism is cell, and the functional unit of a living organism is cell. And every new cell is formed or comes from a pre-existing cell. That is all about cell theory. Nothing more than that. In 1838, and after that around 1839, this theory came, and it is named as Schwann and Steeden theory, who discovered that all the structural functional unit of the life is cell. Okay, and after this, the second question which is left, the next question which we will cover is surface volume ratio. Surface volume ratio is, if I ask you, this is a pen, we have two ends of it, right? These surfaces are exposed. Okay, now if you want to put something on it or attach something on this, so we will be able to, we have this only exposed spaces. Now if we cut this from this part, and it will turn more smaller than this size, again we will have 4 end points, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now there will be more surface area exposed for us to put something on it or to use it. Similarly, the smaller the number of size of cell, the smaller the cells are so small, because it ensures the greater diffusion in and out of the substances, in and out movement of the substances. Why? If you similarly, as I told you, this is a bigger cell, and we are having this only surface areas exposed. If we will cut it, if we will have more smaller cells, we are having these areas, exposed area, we are getting larger exposed areas, larger surface areas, that ensure a easy diffusion in and out movement of the substances. Okay, substances like nutrients that enters into cell, and some respiratory gases like oxygen enters into cell, carbon dioxide leaves the cell. Next, these are the functions. These are the these facilities which is ensured by the stress surface or the volume ratio of the cell. Okay. Now we have already covered all the topics of this chapter. Go through it. Okay, only important point as I have thought, or as I have taken important points that need to be covered on this chapter. I have covered it all. If you have understood, let me know, and go through the detailed knowledge or the concept for through the textbook. Okay, refer to the textbook.